What happened when I refused to change my name because my parents regretted it? I legally changed my name the week I turned 18. I wasn't born Emily Carter. I was born Sarah Elizabeth Monroe III. Yes, the third. My grandfather was Sarah Monroe. My mother was Sarah Monroe. And then they named me Sarah too, because apparently tradition mattered more than individuality. The problem wasn't the name itself. The problem was who it belonged to. My mother had me at 19 and never really wanted to be a parent. She said it herself more than once. I gave up my whole life because of you. Every time I heard my name, it felt like a reminder that I was the mistake that ruined hers. Growing up, she'd yell, Sarah, and for a split second, I'd never know if she meant herself or me. I hated it. In elementary school, teachers constantly mixed up our records because we had the same name. Bills showed up in my name by accident. One time a collection agency called our house asking for me when I was 13. I started introducing myself as Ellie because it came from my middle name. It felt like me. Mom hated it. I named you after generations of strong women. She'd snap. Be grateful. But every family gathering turned into the same joke. Which Sarah are we talking about? The old Sarah, the young Sarah, or the angry Sarah? Everyone laughed. I didn't. When I was 14, my mom got remarried. My stepdad Daniel was the first adult who ever asked me what I wanted to be called. I told him, Ellie. He never called me anything else. For my 16th birthday, he gave me a silver necklace with one word engraved on it. Ellie. I cried in my room for an hour. No one had ever chosen me over the tradition before. When I turned 17, I started researching legal name changes. I filled out forms just to see how it would look. Ellie Carter, Daniel's last name. The man who taught me to drive, who came to every soccer game, who stayed up helping with science projects, who never forgot my birthday. I kept the papers hidden under my mattress. Then everything exploded. A week before my 18th birthday, my mom found them. She stormed into my room holding the paperwork. What is this? I froze. You want to erase your own family? No, I said quietly. I want my own identity. She looked genuinely hurt. So I'm that terrible? I almost said yes. Instead, I said, I don't want every introduction to remind me that I was named after someone who never wanted me. The room went silent. For once, she had nothing to say. I filed the paperwork anyway. 6 weeks later, it became official. I was legally Ellie Carter. I thought that was the end of it. It wasn't. 3 months later, my grandmother invited everyone over for Thanksgiving. The entire extended family was there. Halfway through dinner, Grandma stood up and tapped her glass. I have something to say. She looked directly at me. I refuse to call you Ellie. You are Sarah Monroe III, and you always will be. The room became painfully quiet. Then my mom spoke. I expected her to agree. Instead, she set down her fork. No, she said softly. Everyone looked at her. She turned to me. When I named you after me, I thought if you carried my name, maybe I'd finally become the person I wanted to be. I blinked. She'd never talked about this. Tears filled her eyes. But every time I looked at you, I saw all the dreams I gave up, and I made that your burden. Nobody moved. She swallowed hard. I spent 18 years asking my daughter to carry my regrets. I couldn't breathe. Then she smiled sadly. You were never supposed to inherit my unfinished life. She reached into her purse. Inside was the silver necklace Daniel had bought me. I'd lost it months earlier. Apparently, she'd found it. She stood up, walked around the table, and placed it in my hand. Then she said the words I'll never forget. Hi, Ellie. It's nice to finally meet you. I started crying. She started crying. Even Grandma looked like she might. Later that night, my mom hugged me and whispered, I think I kept your name because I was afraid that if you became your own person, you wouldn't need me anymore. I hugged her tighter. I don't need your name to be your daughter. She cried even harder. The Christmas cards that year arrived addressed to the Carter family. And for the first time in my life, seeing my own name in print didn't feel heavy. It felt like coming home.